He first acknowledged and recognized the presence of the regional minister and his entourage, thanking them and expressing his gratitude to them for making a move of this nature. Started by saying that the issue of Boku is still with us because we are not prepared to face the bull by the horn. We are not ready to call a spade, and we are not ready to look into the face of the lion and tell him that he is not the king of the jungle. That is why we are in this situation. We live in a civilized country, in a civilized society governed by democratic principles. And a society of this nature, if there's a dispute between parties, it is the legal institution that takes care of it. And once the legal institutions determine it in favor of a particular party, that ends it. We are in this country when the highest court of the country, which is the Supreme Court, gave a verdict with regards to Boku chieftaincy issue. And the verdict was in favor of the Kusasis. The verdict was that Boku Naba, Zugran, Aburabo Asigri Azwaka II, he is the overlord of the entire Kosa traditional area. We've seen several instances where Supreme Court passed judgment, and the judgment is enforced by the law enforcement agencies. Take the case that was sent to the Supreme Court by the NDC as against the MPP. In the end, the Supreme Court decided in favor of the MPP. And the NDC came out openly and said they cannot disagree with the verdict of the Supreme Court. Though they may not be happy with the verdict, but they cannot say anything about it. They are bound to go by it because it is a pronouncement of the highest court in the country. Now, same thing has been done as far as Boku's issue is concerned. The problem is now on the issue of implementation. For instance, we have been hearing this issue of the security agencies saying that, oh, if you have a problem, go to court, go to court. The court has already decided. And we all know that verdict of Supreme Courts are laws. You don't make them laws again. They become automatic laws once the Supreme Court says this. Now, the security agencies are waiting for Kusasis to go to court and to battle over which issue again. It now borders on the issue of implementation. And that is why we have problem with the political will. There is no political will whatsoever with regards to finding a lasting solution to Boku's problem. For instance, you know that there is only one chief in Boku, and that is Zugran Boku Naba. You will come and honor Boku Naba as a chief, then you go there and give the same honor to them. Somebody will dress himself in a chieftaincy regalia and be sitting on a high platform. Then you go there and honor the fellow as a chief. I think that the security agencies themselves and the institutions that are supposed to ensure that our laws work are rather breaking the laws, because the law says that there's only one Boku Naba. Then you go, somebody is sitting somewhere calling himself a chief. Meanwhile, there's no royalty running through him. Then you will recognize him as such. In the end, the fellow will have the wings to fly into the air and express himself as such. So we think that institutions of government have a role to play as far as the peace of Boku is concerned. We have to be factual on this issue. You go there, you don't have to recognize them as chiefs. If you think that the pronouncements that the court of law, the highest court of law in Ghana has said is what actually should be abided by, then we don't have to recognize them as chiefs. What just happened right now, the intelligence reaching us indicates that you people wrote let's say the agenda or the program or a letter to them informing them of this very meeting that you will also be replicating over there. They realized that you didn't address them as, you didn't address the letter to the region. And that is why they are saying that if you don't address the letter to them as they were, to their region, recognizing him as a region of Boku, then they will also do something to scatter this very gathering. And that was why we didn't want the meeting or the gathering to be scattered. If not, some of us were prepared to just start a meeting with you and tell you point blank to your faces, we are not ready to entertain you. You are not helping us in solving Boku's problem. The fact of the matter is this. We may suggest solutions. You may think those solutions are not solutions to Boku's problem, but they are the very solutions to the problem. It may sound abstract to you, but the solution to Boku's problem is the exit of all security apparatus. Leaving us. If I know that if I engage someone in a fight, there will not be anybody to separate us, you won't engage the fellow in a fight. I have a friend who will always say, oh, let the defense be solid. If he sees that there's a defense to separate, he will start a big war. But if he sees that there's nobody there to at least come to his aid, he will never do something of that sort. Why is it that we don't start? Whenever there is an NDC regime, things calm down. Because people think that they have connections in government that can support them to perpetrate what? Crime. But when a change of government comes and they realize that they have lost those connections, Boku will be the calmest place you can ever think of. Why so? Let's have a rethink on this and come up together as leaders of the country to find a lasting solution to Boku's problem. We also want to add on this issue of the killings that were carried out here. There are some key facts that we just want to put it there before you. One, some of the victims were arrested before they were summarily executed. Almost all of them were arrested. If the military are of the view that they were neutralizing, we neutralize people in the battlefront. Zogun is far away from the battleground. That is one thing. If they are claiming that they were neutralizing people, then those they have neutralized might have been carrying what? Arms. Said that you needed to at least use that arm power to get him out of his strength. But that wasn't the case. They cannot prove. They have no what? Gun to show that these people, we killed them and we picked this gun from them. No picture of any weapon. No picture of any weapon is available as evidence of what they are claiming. So why do we neutralize? How many women have we seen in Boku here? I'm not all that old, but I've never seen a woman carry arm in Boku's conflict. A woman was shot. An innocent people, 12-year-old child who is still in primary school, saw how they shot at his father and ran to the house. As we are standing, if something happens, the children, they know their home is the area of refuge. He ran to the house, decided hiding in that grain granary. And in the end, you came and set the whole place ablaze. And he died in the middle of the fire. Which law in this country, even if you are sentenced to death by a court of competent jurisdiction, which law in this our country would recommend burning alive as a sanction or a punishment? Another issue we're talking about is the issue of what? Social media propaganda. People using social media to insult others, to say all sorts of things, to incite people to come out and fight. For instance, the issue of one of the Mampushes, when a high delegation from government visited them, they said if they are asking them not to to perform the funeral of their late imposter chief, they are only postponing Boku's conflict. And finally, conflict starts and such a person is left roaming the streets of this country as a free man. Are we really serious? Are our laws really working? Somebody goes on social media, one of our boys just said something on social media, rubbed in the name of the former president, and he, the vice president, the sitting vice president. He was repeated, picked up, like somebody who was threatening the entire national security of this country. And was remanded in prison custody for a period of time. Why can't we apply this thing? For instance, there was a video, they said, okay, Pasnaba, your cars will be moving from Boku to this place. We are going to attack them somewhere around Wanwale. The thing came, the act was committed. Somebody lost his life. That person is still free. What evidence do you need again to pin somebody down? What evidence do you need again to solve the problem? So as you have come to us and saying we should at least help proffer solutions to this problem or help give you the way forward, we will not give any way forward to you. It's very simple. It's naked and it's lying before you. Two-way solutions. Implement the law or else withdraw all your services as far as you can. Lastly, the man process should accept that Bokunaba Zugran, Asir, Aborab, Azwaka, Oneziunam, Kukusa, Ayiko, Banayila, the